So my biblical question for this week, are you a man of power? Do you guys know about this question? Okay. Joshua in Georgia, welcome to church.
Hey, Jesse, how you doing, man?
All is well. So are you a man of power?
I am not.
And why do you say you're not?
I believe it's like the same reason I'm not good. No man is good. No man has power. It's never the men or nothing, pretty much. And I'm a beta, too. So.
Amazing.
Put both of those together.
So what now?
So yeah. I can definitely see that I'm not. That I'm weak. I have no power.
And so why do you call yourself a beta right now?
I catch myself falling into doing things I didn't want to do, but right. I'm influenced by something else.
Are you doing the silent prayer?
I do.
Every day?
I do it. Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, stay out of your head, man.
All right.
All right.
I will.
Okay. All right.
Lord willing. All right.
And the creek don't rise.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you, Josh. So the reason I asked this question is that I noticed that in this country, a lot of people have turned their lives over to so-called powerful people, like the government and the doctors and everybody else. And they seem to really trust the government. The government can tell you to wear a mask outside with the sun shining, wind blowing, and you would do it. I saw a man in a convertible car yesterday on the freeway, the top back, beautiful hot day, the air blowing, and he had a mask on in the car. I'm like, what's wrong with you? But you're listening to people and you have given them, made them believe too that they are men and women of power when they're really not. Any human being who thinks that he or she has power is on an ego trip. This idea that we have power is an illusion. It builds your self-esteem up in the wrong way. We don't have power. But what they have done, especially to this millennial and Z generation, they have torn your wall down because we were all born innocent. But what they have done is destroyed you by perverting you, separating the races. They have taken God away from you. And so they have torn down your wall. You don't have that protection there. And so once they destroy you like that, you're now really weak because you don't have the God's wall guiding His protection, His morality. And so when they break you down like that, they come back in to save you, as though they are powerful people, when they're really not. The power is in you, but it is the power of God. So when you do return to God, you let the anger go, you speak up but don't resent, you're starting to build that wall back. And once you build it back, it's a wall of character. It's a wall of morality, and it's real strong. They can't control you then. They'll brainwash you, and they had to tear you down. They took the fathers out of the home, so they were tearing down God's wall that we were born with. Take the man out of the home, the government become your daddy, make the women think that they are equal to a man, make the men feel like they are rapists, molesters, and hate women, and all kind of stuff they tell you. Once you believe it, they got you. But if they can't tear down that wall, take God out of your life, separate you from your family or the races, they cannot do it. And so you got to return to God. You're right, the power is from God. Anyone who thinks that they have power, a man or woman of power, is being deceived. You don't have any power at all. And the people who think they have power, they don't have it either. And that's why they have to intimidate you. They have to call you names, because they don't have real power. Even these people who have attacked our country, Black Lives Matter and Antifa and all those people, if you really notice, they are only getting away with it because they intimidate. They have no power. But if the people stood up to them, they would go away. As long as they know that you are afraid, you're not going to speak up, you're not going to do anything. When white people lose their jobs and they don't fight for their jobs back, all you're doing is showing a weakness, and you're giving these people a false sense of power. And all ego power is false. It's not real. And that's why when you overcome that fallen state, God give you perfect love, and you have no fear, because you know your help comes from Him. And He helps you in more than just one way, right? He doesn't just feed the cat, or He doesn't just give you money or food. He gives you life. He really gives you life. And in that life, you're being made perfect. And you see that the power will come from Him, and you do have it because you have no fear, you have no doubt, you have no worries. You don't get angry at your fellow man. You speak up, but you don't hate them. You see how to live right and do right because you're guided by that light. But anyone who thinks that they have power is on a trip. The government does not have power over you. That's why they'll send you up. They bring in the Chinese disease. They let the people destroy the cities because they're intimidating you. And the more you give in to them, you're giving them a false sense of power. And every human being who is in a fallen state has a false sense of power. It's not real power. That's why they call it white supremacists and black supremacists, and because everybody think that they have it in that fallen state, but you really don't. So make sure you do the silent prayer, return to the Father, and He will guide you in all these things. And when someone tries to intimidate you, it would not work because you have no fear, and you have a relationship with character, with what is right first, with God. And so if they say, oh, I'm going to take your job, I'm going to take your house, you'll stand up and fight back, but it wouldn't stop you from standing up for the fear of losing something. That's why the guys who are taking care, spending your money on women, you're not building, you're destroying. And ladies who are taking the money, you're not building, you're destroying. You got to be, as Mark said, you got to be right and do right. And everyone who's been born of the Spirit, you will become right, and you start doing the right thing. And you will see the real power working through you, all right? You won't have a false sense of self-esteem. You won't be deceived. It's amazing to wake up and you'll see that. You'll come back to yourself as you were when you were a kid before you were traumatized. But nobody has power. It's an illusion. The government does not have power. We control the government. And the only way they get away with what they're doing, we let them do it. All we have to do is vote them out. So return to the Father, do the silent prayer so you can be aware, and you will see you will become alive, and life is amazing once you do that. But no one has. Don't let anyone tell you they have power. They don't have it. When these women be saying, oh, I'm a strong woman, I'm like, yeah, right. Anybody have to say that many times, you know they're weak. I'm a strong black woman. I'm a queen. Oh, like queen of Satan. So, but it's in you, but as most people have been saying, it comes from God. Greater is He that's in you than he that's in the world. All right? So drop the hate, go and forgive, and do the silent prayer. Just be aware. You want to be aware. You're not the creator. You are the observer. And life would be happening. It would start happening to you. All right? So last thing I want to tell you about when you become right, you know how when you get to know yourself, you see you have all kind of weird impulses happening on the inside of you. You're gonna overcome that. You'll find yourself not giving into those impulses. You'll be steadfast. You'll be strong in it, and it's gonna be interesting to see how those things that used to control you, you were overreact to, you don't do them anymore. So that's why you got to be right and do right, because He will bring the whole self into love, control, self-control. All right? So stay with the silent prayer, speak up, but don't resent. Last word, sir, and I hope it's short. Yes, sir.
When you're saying about the power, if we're, the power that comes from God through us to give us, I could think about how much power that Jesus had because He spoke with authority. So I'm thinking authority would be power to speak up the things that are not right. in the world, the situations that we're going through, the cares of the world. So all I can think about that power that Jesus had with the authority when they came for him in the garden, the Roman soldiers, and they were big guys with their armor on.
But you don't want to think about that. You
Okay.
want to live it.
Okay.
He came so you can live it, and we have it within us. Even that enemy that is within us, we will defeat. His power will cause us to defeat the enemy within. That's why you got to get to know yourself, so you can return to the Father, and he'll fight the enemy within you. He won't be able to control you. And power is nothing you can feel, taste, or touch. You just live it. You don't even know you have it, but you see that you're living it, and things have changed, and you're not giving into the impulses and things like that. So keep your eyes on yourself. All right?
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. So my brand new biblical question, what does it mean to be of the light? Everybody of the light. What does it mean to be of the light? Are you of the light, Chris? Absolutely. Oh, Lord. I knew you were going to say yes. You say yes?
Yeah.
What does it mean to be of the light?
It means to be of God. You know, God's like a light unto your feet, and
How do you know you're of the light?
because I can see the truth, and so when the light's on, you can see the truth.
You fired. You cannot be expert anymore. No, I'm good. I'm messing with you. But that's my biblical question. Are you of the light? No, what does it mean to be of the light? Isn't that like a good one? That's great. All right, so I got to end. I really appreciate the fellowship. I urge you, doubt every thought. All right? So when things are happening in your life, and then something that you don't like should happen, don't run in your head and run away from it. Just relax, let it pass through, and you'll be fine. Notice it, be the observer of the pain because you're in your head, and God is working it out for you. Don't run, don't go off on someone. Just be aware of it. Speak up, but don't resent. Just let yourself be, and he's working it out. He really is. So you keep an eye on yourself, doubt every thought, do the silent prayer. And your life is changing. It's going to be amazing. You haven't seen anything yet. I've been doing it for 30 years, but you have not, words cannot express the amazing thing that he has. Do you have your hand, Ernest? Yes. Okay. You're so black over there, I can't see you.
So
Black people should never sit in a dark room when lights are shining. Yeah. Yes.
So I was just wondering, when the Bible says resist evil and it will flee,
Yes.
is that the same thing as doubting every thought?
100%. 100%. When you doubt, because Satan tempts you through your imagination, and you escaped into the imagination because you were traumatized. Now it's time to come out and be guided by what is right. But you're absolutely right. He tempts you, and if you resist those thoughts, he will flee from you. But if you believe those thoughts, he will destroy you. He'll make you do things you regret later. Absolutely. Resist the devil. Thank you all for calling in, and we're going to read your D-Lives and Super Chats tomorrow. I do appreciate it. And thank you for your donation to rebuildingaman.com/church. I really, really appreciate it. We're going to have to move faster with the calls and things, right? Because I know last week we didn't get too many. We're going to work that out some kind of a way. And so thank you for your support. And thank you all. This was good fellowship. So thank you all for tuning in. I really, really appreciate it. Check out the show tomorrow. And 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. for my show. And the Hake Report is 9 to 11 Pacific time, his show, all right? And thank you for your support for us and everything. Thank you all again. I do appreciate it.